Hello, everybody. So, today is 4th of July, and it's all about freedom, right? Here in the United States, we're celebrating our freedom. And it can come in many different forms, actually. It's not just in the physical place that you reside, but it can be from your heart and how you feel like your soul is able to be free. A lot of you know my journey since the start of my awakening, and some of you don't. But it's all revolved around a relationship, really, recognizing that it wasn't serving me, and I became brave, and I learned how to follow guidance and receive in a way that I had faith and I could continue to walk step by step. And, the divine has always shown up for me, and it's always been reassuring me that I am safe, that I am protected. And I'm talking with you in a way in a heavy heart today because I had something really symbolic happen yesterday in my journey. As I started to become brave and speak up for myself, I entered this whole unconscious uncoupling realm. And it's definitely been just this ebb and flow, roller coaster of emotions. And every time I felt like I knew how the conversation would end, or at least what it would lead to, it really wouldn't. And it created a container for me to really learn how to surrender even on a deeper level and come through with a new awareness and a new acceptance. And again, acknowledging that I just need to trust and to follow the flow, because we really don't know the whole picture. And as much as we want to control and we want to know our outcome, we really don't, And in this process, I've always done my best to maintain an opportunity for discovery that I really feel, just as much as for myself, that this process is important for my partner, for my husband, and who has been in this process with me to discover if we're still in alignment with each other, and if our values are the same, and if we're still serving one another. And last night, it wasn't planned, but I came to pick up my daughter, because we have been separated since February. And we dove right into where are we at. It was kind of a time for a review, and we hadn't really held that space for each other, and we knew that we were due for a talk. And in our talk, I felt like I knew where we were headed, that we were always going to be splitting off, because I really did sense that out of alignment and our mindsets being so different, and me wanting to lead a spiritual path, and how important that is to integrate in my life now. And it isn't for him. He's not on the same page that way. He doesn't feel into that. And I recognize that I can't compromise, right, my uncomfortableness for his comfortableness anymore. And so that's been a huge center to our discussions. And and today I'm just sharing a story with you, and this may seem long, and if you want to hang in here with me and listen and hear, then this is what it's for. It's not a quick teaching today. It's just to share an experience with you, and invite you to be a part of my journey on a very real and intimate level. So, going back to our story. So I was just hearing where he's at this point, and recognizing from him that he's actually come to this place of decision, that he doesn't feel like he can be that person that I need him to be in order to continue on the path that I'm on. And, I'm really proud of us, because I feel like this whole time we've been honoring each other. We've come with loving eyes. We try to respect each other in these conversations, and there really isn't a lot of blame, and there isn't a lot of pointing the finger, although there are times that we feel like we need to clarify the story for our own good. But with that being said, it's interesting. I was just listening to him come to this, he's come to his decision, and he was sharing that with me, and he was, being very vulnerable at that point, but it was something that needed to be said, obviously. We were sitting on the sun porch of his house, and I was looking back behind me, and the sun was setting. It was a beautiful sunset. But as he was like at the climax, right, of where he's at, leading me to how he's come to this point, the sun was this intense red color, and it was already halfway set. He'd already gone through half the story. And as he said, the final statement that I've decided I don't want to reconcile with you. I feel like it's time for us to both move on, and that we're just in this spiral. Not a spiral, but, instead of being in this pause, that it's time to make those steps of final separation. And I recognize I've been holding on to you, and it's time for me to just let you go. And as he's telling me this, it just hit me that we're on the eve of our anniversary. The very first time that we knew that we had something really special and more deep than a friendship was on 4th of July weekend. And we kind of ran off into the sunset. We split off from our friends and spent some alone time. And we've always called this weekend our anniversary. We've been together 17 years. And it was just, in a way, just just amazing time of the synchronicity. I could have never planned it like we experienced. On the eve of our anniversary, and the sun is setting, and he's telling me it's time to let me go, and that he can't be the person I'm asking him to be. And we've gone full circle, and also in a very symbolic way. And he actually, after the sun set, we're actually wrapping up, for the entire evening. It was like 11 o'clock. He held my hands, and like he did when we were saying our vows. And he held my hands, and he promised me that he would let me go. And I realized that he's been holding on to something that now he totally needs to just separate himself from and let me be free. And let me become the person that I feel like I'm coming into, want to come into, that I can live the life that I want to live and not hold me back. And, we hugged, and, there's so much love and respect, and I'm so thankful that we can actually, do this amicably and do it with such a loving heart, and, showing each other where we feel like we can better our lives, and that we wish the other person to have a better life, the elements that may be missing, and the things that we can learn and improve upon, and invite into our life to hopefully improve the next relationship or next experience, and ultimately, live a life that is full of joy and full of bliss and not of compromise. And it is my hope that so many other people can have this experience, that we, in a way, are modeling a better way to handle these breakups. It doesn't have to be done with hate, and it takes a ton of courage and a ton of love to walk this. But I can tell you, it is so rewarding. As painful as it can be to speak up or to let something go, especially something that you feel like, that you love, and that there is value, and you appreciate it, and you look at it as just a wonderful chapter that you can leave it still intact, that you don't destroy it. It hurts. It's really interesting, It's the 4th of July, and I'm realizing that there's a freedom that I knew that I always had wanted from this, but it just coming through this way on today is kind of profound. So, thank you for listening, and may this help you in some way, or maybe it's just a thanks for being energetically connected with me and my journey. And if there's anything that I can do to help you, or relay insight, or give you strength where you feel like you're being weak, or you're wavering when you feel like you want to be strong and certain, I might not have the exact answer, but I can definitely share my experience with you and the things that I've used to help me through this, and that will continue to help me through this. So, much love to you, and to your freedom. Let your soul really, truly be free. And it's a practice of doing little teeny steps and tuning in to your heart wisdom and asking for divine guidance and being willing to receive it, even when it's maybe not what you're expecting or what you want to do. But there is better on the other side, and if we follow that divine path, it's always for our highest good. So, much love to you, and can't wait to talk to you next time.